Let me introduce myself. My name is Riza Komara with assistant code RIZ. Here we will explain about module 5. Is about function. Next. Basic theory. Functions are subprograms that are very useful in programming, especially for large program. For example, we enter the function of the area of the quadrilateral prism. Then we only need to write the prism-wide formula once in the function without having to write it repeatedly in the main program. The following terms are often used in function. First, we have local variables that can only be used for algorithm within the function. Second, we have global variable that can be used both in the main program and the in function. Third, we have actual parameter include when calling a function. Last, we have a formal parameter placed in the function header. Next, here we have a function structure. So we can see that the point we have a header which includes studio.h, and we have a global variable which is integer x and y, and we have a parameter actual that in here is add x, y, and formal parameter. In the function we need to add a parameter formal to declare, and we have to use a parameter actual parameter to call that function. In this example, we have an integer for the function which is have return value that result. Okay, next.
Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Dimas Bimaditya with Code Assistant MAS from Electrical Engineering. Yeah, I'm about to explain what is function. A function is a piece of code intended to carry out a specific task. The task requires input information called parameters, and usually a function will return a value. In writing a function, it is given a name or identifier or a formal parameter. The input value is given a name and the type is explained, and a type of function is declared. Function can be created before or after writing the main program. If it is made after writing main, then the prototype function must be written at the top of the program. We can see here an example of the code. Next. And now let me explain how to write a function. First, we have writing function after the main program. This way of writing requires a prototype of the function. The purpose is as an abstraction so that the function can be recognized by the entire program. The function prototype only requires the data type of its parameters, so we don't have to write the variables. We can see here an example of the code. Next. Second, we have how to write a writing function before the main program. We can see here an example of the code. It is different from the after the main program with the before the main program. Next.
Hello, my name is Ahmed Albatsa with Code Assistant AMG. So, void function. The void function is a function that does not return a value or has no return value. This function is widely used in the two following cases. 1. Display information on the screen so that it can be read by the user. 2. Function with the reference parameters, namely by sending the memory address of a variable into the parameters. If a function has a void return type, it means the function doesn't return any value. If a function has an integer or any other data type return type, It means that the function will return a value of the corresponding type, which can then be used in a calculation or other program logic. For example, here, if we put the value 10 on the program with the integer, that means it will return the value of positive. This will not work if you put it in the void return type. Next.
Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Dasar Rizky with a system code AAA. Here I will explain about parameter. Parameter are data entered into function which will then be used in the process that is in the function. There is two ways to enter parameter in this language. First is pass by value, meaning that the data passed is only the value of a variable and then stored in the local variable in the function. In other words, this method uses two different variables, so the variable in the actual parameter cannot be changed in the function. Second, pass by reference, meaning that the data passed is the memory address of a variable. In other words, this method uses same variable, so changing the value of variable in function can change the value of original variable. Vision from this example in the pass by value. In pass by value data section is not exchanged because only the value are exchanged. And you can see in the pass by friend section, the data can be exchanged because in the section the address is exchanged. Next, I will explain about pointer. Pointer are features in C language that are used to access and manipulate the memory address of variable. Pointer has two operators, namely difference, the reference operator use artistic to provide the value of a variable. Uh, and other one that is reference operator or ampersand to provide the memory address of a variable. An example of application of pointer program is that pointer can be used to access and manipulate elements in arrays, including use in function to operate an array without sending the entire array as an argument. There is an example of pointer. Can we see if we put ampersand or reference before the variable, the output will not value, but it will output address of the variable. Can we not? Memory address value may change anytime. Okay, that's from us. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.